Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood. Now it's 6:30.
This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
Glad you're with us. I'm Matt Austin. Let's get right to your forecast. And Jonathan, those temperatures are dropping.
They are, yeah. Temperatures today made it back to the mid-70s as expected, about 15 to 20 degrees cooler than where we've been across Central Florida over the past few days. Now tomorrow, a little bit warmer again, back to the upper 70s. Rain chances go up a smidge to 20%. That's mainly along the coast. Big storm system developing in the Atlantic that's going to send back some Atlantic moisture. We're also going to wake up to temperatures on the warmer side on Thursday, but I think rain chances are also going to be there to start your day, mainly right along the coast. And Friday's rain chance to 20%. That's because of another cold front that takes our temperatures back down into the mid-80s, into the upper 70s for the weekend. Sunday especially, I think that's going to be our coolest morning of the bunch here, maybe our last relatively cool morning, 40s and 50s coming our way Sunday morning, and then we warm things back up by the early stages of next work week. Rain chances, except for the coast, hard to come by. We are going to pinpoint this into your neighborhood coming up in about 15 minutes, guys.
See you then, Jonathan. Thank you. Some families who live just north of State Road 46 are concerned about what a potential development could do to their neighborhood. We're learning there are plans to build up to 20 homes on a 5-acre lot between Grove Manor Drive and 24th Street.
But the proposal requires zoning adjustments. News 6 reporter Catherine Silver spoke to neighbors who were hoping to get the city's attention to address their concerns.
I like that it's close to downtown. I can take my golf cart.
Lacey Laird loves living in this neighborhood just north of Sanford's airport, where her family has called home for generations.
My house has been in my family for years.
But she doesn't love plans to develop this wooded property at the end of her street.
Nobody in the neighborhood is happy about it.
When our News 6 crew spent time in the neighborhood Tuesday, we heard those concerns. We've also seen them on social media. Here's one post about the proposal. It says SciCorp Engineering plans to ask the city to rezone the property and build up to 20 homes on a 5-acre parcel. Laird says rezoning would lead to smaller lots with more houses.
It's just too many houses. And if there's a minimum of a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, you have, at least probably 3 people or more staying in that house.
Which you're scared will lead to more flooding?
More flooding, yes.
More traffic?
More traffic. It's going to make it very difficult. We already have quite a bit of construction at the other end of the road on 46. So it's just going to be kind of crazy.
We looked over the plans with Laird. So we're standing right here where
Yes.
Willow dead ends. There's an access point at Willow and 24th Street.
We would be coming up Willow and coming here. And then to the left, that would be where the majority of the homes are. And then probably further back down here in the woods.
The only way out would be down Willow or Orange. A pond that would hopefully address drainage concerns would be put in by the railroad tracks.
We just don't know how it's going to hold up with hurricane season and everything. So people are definitely worried from all aspects, not just Willow and Orange, but the surrounding areas too. And it just goes beyond just the neighborhood, but just the city of Sanford in general. We just want them to listen to the citizens.
District 1 Commissioner Sheena Britton shared in this Facebook post that she is listening. She was also at a public meeting on Monday. I reached out to her and city planning staff. They tell me they've received a pre-application, which means a lot more steps need to happen before any decision leads to development. In Sanford, I'm Catherine Silver, getting results, News 6.
Yeah, and there's a reason they're concerned. We've seen this happen in other areas before.
That's
so
right.
we
The
know.
drainage issues really need to be looked at closely in those situations. And that's a lot of homes in a pretty small area. Well, could a school its community says means so much really be closed? That sad scenario might be an option for a local district.
News 6's James Barbero explains their options for schools with declining enrollment.
So even though student enrollment is up overall in Brevard County, at some schools, like McNair Middle, it's actually down, and the district says it has been down for about 15 years. That has some people worried that the school district might now think about closing McNair and consolidating the school with the other middle school in Rockledge, Kennedy. I just met Nigeria Powell, who went to McNair. Now Nigeria is a senior at Rockledge High School. And what was your experience like here?
It was really fun. I really did enjoy it. All the teachers were really sweet.
What makes the school special, do you think? Is there something unique about the school?
Yeah, I think there's something unique. McNair has a lot of different programs. It's a magnet school, and Kennedy doesn't have those.
Before a meeting of the school board this afternoon about how schools are being utilized, board member Megan Wright talked to reporters to clear the air. She said any talk about closing McNair is just a rumor right now.
Believe me, I was as alarmed as everybody else when I saw on the internet this hit, and I went, whoa, what's going on here? Like, we have not made any decisions to close any schools. And honestly, I'm of the mindset, like, let's find a way to drive up enrollment. Let's figure out different options that we can have and work alongside with the community to make sure we keep all the schools open.
If the school weren't here anymore, how would that make you feel?
I'd just be sad that people don't get to experience the same thing that I did.
During the meeting, another board member, Katie Campbell, made an argument for consolidating McNair and Kennedy. Listen.
A school that's that tiny cannot support the many opportunities that the larger schools can. So I'm just being completely transparent.
Besides mergers, redrawing the school's boundaries could be another solution to help lower enrolled schools. The district blamed low enrollment on an aging population. They said in some communities, there's just not as many kids as there used to be. In Brevard County, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results News 6.
Well, I got to witness a pretty special party after the Florida Gators won the national championship
How you
last
feeling?
night. I think my bosses hate me. That's why send the Seminole out to the Gators as they all have a great time.
You were happy for
I
them.
was. It was actually a great time.
Yeah.
Gator Nation had plenty to cheer about it, and it was well deserved. As you could tell from the fans. I was in here, I can't hear a word you're saying. It was so loud in that place. And the game wasn't even taking place there.
Wow.
It was 11,000 strong inside there.
What are they doing on the court?
They
Just stormed it.
stormed the court, even though nobody was playing on it. That's how intense this crowd was. Celebrations got underway just as the game ended, a game that was 18 years in the making. Celebrations happening still. It was a hard-fought tournament where the team took down top four seeds on the way to their title and included that massive comeback last night.
It was a barn
When we
burner,
went
man.
up there, I didn't know what to expect. I thought a few thousand kids might be in this O'Connell
Then
Stadium.
you saw that line.
And there was, not only was there a line, then they couldn't let all the kids in. And so there were just college students just with their faces against the glass asking us,
Begging you to let them in.
will you let me in? I'm like, I can't let
That's
you in.
not my job. Sorry.
Man, they had a great time last night. And it was mostly, I will say, like, as a parent of a college kid, you wonder, how do these situations go down when they're out partying and having a good time? There were cops all over the place. They shut down the road so everybody was safe, and everybody seemed to have a pretty safe
I saw
time.
a lot of young kids out there, and it's a school night. And
Yeah,
the parents were like having a good time as well.
There were a couple parents there. Two of them I talked to, they're like, oh, we're saving a spot in line for our kid while their kid was over at a bar.
Exactly.
I'm like, man.
We're the kids.
These are quite the parents
That's
here.
nice.
They
It was
were
a lot of
great.
fun.
So yeah, good times out there, and it was the night of their lives. I
Yeah.
mean, they were just screaming and yelling. And
Well, they waited a
somebody,
long time for it.
somebody was doing cartwheels down the middle of the road. I was like, what
That
is
was you?
happening? Yeah, it was not. It's Central Florida's #1 website, clickorlando.com. Let's check out what's trending tonight. You should definitely check out the McDonald's on Sand Lake Road, also known as Epic Mickey D. It's the largest by square footage in the United States, and they need 2 whole stories just to fit everything in there. See,
I've driven past that. Yeah, it's a big one.
It's not a normal looking, there's like an arcade in there.
Nothing's normal about it. And good thing it's so close to the parks, right? So this restaurant is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you could have a Big Mac or enjoy the special items unique to this McDonald's. To take a look at their menu and other features, check it out at clickorlando.com.
I can't believe I've never been in that thing.
No, it's probably always packed, though. I've driven past it many.
Yeah.
You have too. But
Yeah,
just never think
we
to
do
stop
avoid
there.
the tourist spots usually, and that's
Yeah.
a pretty heavy one. Well, here are some of the other trending stories right now over at clickorlando.com. Can you guess the #1 most affordable place to live in Central Florida? A hint, it's north of Orlando. Click Orlando reveals the location and the most affordable cities by county, but apparently we're not going to tell you right now.
Well, because that's
It's called the tease.
Yeah, and we want you to go to clickorlando.com. And speaking of which, the clickorlando.com team is curious why typing paranoia.com into the search bar links you directly to Disney's website. That's weird. All right, so you can check out the research of this creepy phenomenon, and now I can't wait to do it to see what actually happens. I wonder who thought of... Don't do it.
All right, there's a fuzzy problem in Oviedo, and they crawl too.
Oh, this is in addition to making your skin crawl. Tussock moth caterpillars should be approached with extreme caution. An expert is sharing the steps to take if you come in contact with one of these creepy crawlers.
Hard to say those words together. Tussock moth. First, though, it's an expensive development to bring affordable housing close to Epic Universe. News 6's Justin Warmoth toured how it plans to get results for families.
You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Montverde, Bithlo, and all of Central Florida. We'll be back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your Tuesday evening traffic alert. The weather last night kind of slowed down some of the construction, which for some of us is a good thing, but we will see those lane closures along north and southbound Florida Turnpike up on the north end in Lake County, and then we'll see those lane closures along 417 as well, both in Orange and in Seminole. I'm Trooper Steve with the News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. I'll catch you in the morning.
Well, as Epic Universe nears its grand opening next month, an affordable housing community is taking shape right next door on land donated by Universal.
We have been following the developments with Catchlight Crossings for years now. News 6 anchor Justin Wormuth stopped by the site to see where things stand.
This part's almost completed.
Ryan Von Weller gave us an update on the progress for an affordable housing development that promises to give hospitality and service workers an affordable place to live close to where they work.
This particular development is going to be really a game changer for the way that we kind of view how we provide affordable housing. They're doing 1,000 units across 20 acres, which is essentially 50 units an acre, and Central Florida is a little atypical.
Wendover Housing Partners is the developer behind Catchlight Crossings, a $375 million project taking shape right near Epic Universe in the Orange County Convention Center, a prime piece of real estate donated by Universal.
International Drive. You would think in this corridor, as active as it is in the I-Drive area, as dense as it is, this area was never developed. So the land was targeted by several different developers, including Universal at one time, to build a resort or a hotel.
And here's an interesting stat. Every single day, 100,000 people come to the I-Drive district just to go to work. And because there's no affordable housing here, they often have very long commute times.
We do have hourly workers, tourism workers that are traveling extraordinary distances to get here to go to work. So hopefully with the creation of these units, we're going to be able to supply some much needed housing right at the front door of the tourism corridor and I-Drive.
On top of the affordable units, the community will be flush with amenities and on-site services, including medical offices, tuition-free preschool, educational opportunities with UCF, and 16,000 square feet of retail space.
That's part of improving the quality of life of the resident. It will be certainly a shift from what we've seen elsewhere, where most affordable housing developments, including the ones we provide, have a limited amount of services brought in irregularly. This one's going to be a true mixed-use development that's going to have these things on site.
Since Catchlight Crossings broke ground a year and a half ago, critical infrastructure work has been happening underneath the surface. But Von Weller anticipates construction will really start to ramp up in the coming months.
I would say within the next 60 days, we'll start seeing this thing go vertical. The good news is that the infrastructure that's being completed now is for all 3 phases. So when we're ready to go to phase 2, we'll hopefully be able to pick up some time because we'll just be able to start building right away.
In Orlando, Justin Wormuth getting results, News 6.
That looks like a huge undertaking.
But so
big
necessary,
project.
though.
Yeah, very important. So many people down there need affordable housing
and don't want to
easy way
be
to work.
in traffic.
Yeah,
to get to work.
Yeah, but that's going to be hard to avoid down there. But by the way, we should mention, you don't have to work at Universal to live there. Pricing actually depends on somebody's income. It's a sliding scale. 600 of the units will be for those who make 30 to 60% of the area's median income, or AMI.
Yeah, the remaining 400 are considered workforce housing, which is 80 to 120% of the AMI. The first phase of the project is set to open next year, with the entire community expected to be complete by 2029, and that'll be here before you know it. Yeah. Here's a live look now over Daytona Beach. That looks good out there.
She's looking nice.
Yeah, really pretty. Yeah. People on the beach, too, it looks like. Why not?
I think it's a nice day for it. We have meteorologist Jonathan Kagas joining us now with your pinpoint accurate weather. And it has cooled down.
It has.
And we're going to get just a little taste of this. It's not going to last.
It's not going to last at all. No, and these are getting these cold fronts are becoming few and far between as we get deeper and deeper into April.
No more polar vortex.
Exactly. Yeah, none of that stuff anymore. So that is the cold front right there. It has crossed Central Florida. It kept the clouds and a few showers around today. It's also helping to clear us out at least a little bit with bringing some drier air back in. Those clouds are going to be quick to return as we get into tonight into tomorrow. I'll show you that in just 1 second, because along this boundary here from Miami through the Bahamas, you see all the lightning strikes. Area of low pressure going to get going right about to over Freeport. Counterclockwise flow around that area of low pressure. Going to send showers back. So we're going to fast forward to tomorrow evening. This is Wednesday at 6 o'clock. There's that area of low pressure, and then again, that counterclockwise flow. You see the blue arrows there off the Atlantic. That's going to send some Atlantic moisture back in our direction, and that's going to keep the shower chances elevated, at least along the coast, and then also keep the waves cranked up pretty good as that system starts developing. So we do have the opportunity to go to the beach if you have plans to go there over the next couple of days. This is what you're going to be contending with, some pretty rough surf out there right along the shoreline. Waves breaking at about 6 to 8 feet. That's 10 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. Further out at sea, again, if you're planning on taking the boat out, again, it's going to be a little dicey out that direction because it's going to be so choppy. That's 1 o'clock on Friday morning, and then we'll start to see some improvements at least heading into the weekend. So that is going to be timed perfectly, but it's also going to be that time that we have our next cold front coming through. So here we go, 7, 8 o'clock tonight. There's some of that clearing as a result of the drier air, but then you see these blue lines. This is going to be the wind direction here, and you see what happens. Some clouds try to come back during the afternoon on Wednesday, and then we're going to be pinpointing these downpours working their way on shore as a result of that breeze off of the Atlantic again. And I think really I-4 is about the furthest west they go. The further west you are, closer to the Gulf, the drier you're going to be. Most of these are going to be held back off closer to I-95. That's 3 o'clock on Thursday. A few scattered downpours in the mix as well. Keep rain chances only at about 20%. Colorful shot here, live look in downtown Orlando with our light Orlando Delivering Hope Skycam. We're back to the mid-70s, the breeze out of the west at about 10 miles an hour tonight, bringing in some of that cooler air from the north and west. We're at 74 right now in Ocala, 74 in Kissimmee. Cooler air back off towards our north and west. You see where it is right here. This is cold front number 2 between Birmingham and Lexington, Kentucky. That's what's going to come in later this week to give us a pretty cool start to the weekend. For that, here's a look at your Pinpoint Accurate Forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
Before we get into that weekend, high temperatures tomorrow, rebounding back to closer to where we should be. Average highs have now jumped into the lower 80s, 83. We'll be a few notches below that. Rain chances at 20% tomorrow, and again, that is mainly along the coast. Once we get into the weekend, look at this. 80 degrees on Thursday, mid-80s on Friday. This is our next cold front coming through. That'll give us rain chances at 20%. It's pretty much perfect this weekend. Look at all that sunshine. Temperatures back to the upper 70s, start in the 50s. Extremely comfortable, back to the low 80s on Monday, mid-80s on Tuesday, guys.
We will allow it.
My word.
Perfect.
That's a great looking 7 day.
Hold your applause, please.
Hey, our next stop on the road is Claremont. So if you live there, we want to hear from you. What makes your community special? What are your concerns? And how can we get some results for you? Let us know. Clickorlando.com/hitstheroad. Fill out the form. Don't be surprised if you hear from us. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Ugh.
Get through it. You can do it.
So you've more than likely seen these critters around your home or at work. I know we've got some right here at News 6. I have not seen them, but they're called tussock moth caterpillars, and they're gross. And they can give you a rash if you touch them.
I want to know what
those
those little teeth on their back. You
I
ever
don't
see
know,
those
but
little
one
chunks?
of them's doing ab work.
So you think that's like a six-pack?
No.
If you've ever been to Oviedo, many local parks are covered in them. It's not just Oviedo. I saw them in Gainesville yesterday. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez has a message from the city to deal with these Florida critters.
The soon-to-be moths that love to be in oak trees are all over here at Riverside Park in Oviedo, and the city wants you to be aware that they have hairs all over their body that can irritate your skin. The city of Oviedo wants people to be cautious of tussock moth caterpillars. While they don't sting, they can inflame your skin if you touch them.
We're asking people to just be mindful of them. Parents, visitors, if you bring your kids to your parks and you see one, don't play with it. They feel like fiberglass on your fingertips if you touch them.
The Florida natives come out this time of year. They cover trees and structures, finding a place to make their cocoons.
So caterpillars are an incredibly important piece of our ecosystem. They're food for all sorts of creatures.
Insect experts like Adam Dale say if you need to move them, use gloves or an object like a credit card to avoid contact.
They have little spines on them and they can break off into your skin, and that causes the primary skin irritation. But they do look like little brushes along their back. But those are the ones you don't want to come into contact with. In addition to some of the really long ones that they have sticking off the tips of their body.
If you do come into contact with one, remove any hairs with tape, wash the area with soap and water, and apply ice or a baking soda and water paste to soothe the skin. Now, even their cocoons have those hairs on them that can irritate your skin. So if you're looking to clean an area of them once they become moths, you're encouraged to use a broom to do that. Reporting in Oviedo, Stephanie Rodriguez, Getting Results, News 6.
I'd rather have a leech.
Do you feel drawn to touch one of those
No,
things?
they're not
I
even
don't
cute.
understand
They're
it.
like remove them with a credit card or something. I would like to remove them with someone else's hands.
Flamethrower.
You're going to get a call from the Tussock
Police.
Hey, thanks for joining us for News 6 at 6:30. Stream anytime online on the News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
And we break news on clickorlando.com. He just ended it. See you tonight at 11.
I want to talk about these caterpillars.